Yo, what is up guys? It's me exactly back bringing some more daily NBA news. Thank you once again for coming back. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and if you're new here, if this is your first time stopping by the channel, then welcome. You are also greatly appreciated, but make sure that you smack that sub button and hit the bell as well so you can stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But now let's just take a look at everything that is going on in the NBA. But first, a quick word about this video sponsor, Sports Q Trivia. And there is a huge announcement to make because the app is being completely, well, I shouldn't say completely, but it is being a little reimagined. For now, we are going to be doing more shows with more hosts. The show that I host is called The Catch Up, you know, where it's pretty similar to what I do here. I catch you guys up on like NBA news, rumors, draft talk, stuff like that, while also asking you questions. So there is still going to be that show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now though, we are introducing a new show called NBA Rewind, and the first episode is going live today, and guess what? It's hosted by none other than Mr. Dom 2K himself. It's about to be so dope, so make sure that you download the app by using the links in the description box below. First up in the news, we got a lot of D'Angelo Rustling going on in the NBA world right now. That's right, we got a lot of snitching going on in the NBA world right now, as Stephen A. Smith just snitched on Chris Paul, who snitched on LeBron James. Anyways, I know that sounds confusing, so I'm gonna break it down for you. And it started off yesterday when Adrian Wojnarowski was quoted saying this. Somebody close to him said to me, Chris Paul has his focus on recruiting LeBron James as much as anything he's done in this league. But Woj says that Chris Paul is still out here heavily recruiting LeBron James, which isn't out of the ordinary. We all saw this coming. It was going to happen. Chris Paul wants LeBron on the Rockets. This is widely known information. But of course, it doesn't stop there, as now we get into the inception of snitches, as not too long after Woj said that, Stephen A. Smith dropped a huge bomb when he said this.
According to my sources, several things are happening. A, Chris Paul is telling folks LeBron ain't trying to come to Houston. He want to be in LA. These are things I'm getting through the grapevine. Chris Paul is saying LeBron want to be in LA.
Which what he said actually kind of makes sense, believe it or not. If Chris Paul is trying to recruit LeBron, and maybe LeBron is telling him that he wants to go to LA, and CP3 is trying to get him to change his mind and go to Houston instead. And this also perfectly ties into a story that we had come out a few days ago, when sources claimed to hear that LeBron James doesn't like Houston as a city. I heard this from his own lips when we were in Houston this season. He does not like Houston as a city, so that would require him moving to a place that he's not crazy about. Now remember, the LeBron James said his decision this summer will be a family-oriented decision. So maybe, just maybe, it's not LeBron James that dislikes Houston, but maybe it's his wife and kids that aren't too crazy about Houston and would much prefer to be in LA. That's what I'm kind of thinking here, because if it was up to LeBron James, I'm sure he'd want to go to the destination that's going to give him the best chance to win a championship. And right now, it seems like Houston would be that team, considering they got this close to beating the Golden State Warriors without LeBron James last year. But if LeBron is really putting his family first, and it's his family saying we'd rather live in LA over Houston, then I don't know how much recruiting Chris Paul could possibly do in order to change that. Next up in the news, some pretty big news that dropped yesterday that seemingly went a little under the radar involved the Toronto Raptors, as we got reports out saying that the Raptors are looking to trade up in the NBA draft to select, and forgive me if I butcher this name, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a Canadian who played for Kentucky last season. And the Raptors aren't just looking to move up to like the 15th, 16th, or 17th pick in the draft. No, they're trying to get a top 10 pick in the draft, as reporter Mark Stein tweeted out this yesterday. Draft Scuttle hearing Toronto is exploring all of its trade options in hopes of assembling a deal to acquire a draft pick high enough to select Kentucky's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Also saying, according to one league source, no one on Toronto's roster is off limits as the Raptors pursue a top 10 pick. Now, this is where this becomes extremely interesting. No one on the Raptors is off limits, they say, and they want a top 10 pick in the draft, they say. See, about a month ago, reports came out saying that DeMar DeRozan DeRozan could end up being traded to the Philadelphia 76ers this summer. And we all know that the Sixers have the 10th pick in the NBA draft. And once again, the Raptors are saying no one is off limits when it comes to trading for a package that includes the number 10 pick in the NBA draft. Sixers had the 10th pick in the NBA draft. This could become a real thing. For our next story of the day, this one, I don't even know what to make about it because it's just so much to take in all at once. But from the sound of things, I know that I just said DeMar DeRozan could possibly end up on the Philadelphia 76ers this summer, but hold up. There could be another player in all of this too, the Cleveland Cavaliers, as we are getting a lot of gigantic reports involving the Cleveland Cavaliers coming out. And the first one is a rumor that I had to tell you guys about, saying that LeBron James will prefer to stay in Cleveland, as Brian Windhorst was quoted saying this: "I think LeBron's preference is to stay in Cleveland. I think he's looking for reasons to want to stay in Cleveland." So that's the first bit of news. And not too long after that, we got two extremely similar reports from different sources. The first one saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers are willing to trade their number 8 pick in the draft for veteran players. And the second one saying that the Cavs are considering a trade package involving Kevin Love plus the number 8 pick. And that one came from Waj, as he just said this: "Cleveland would love to package Kevin Love plus the number 8 pick and get something on draft night, but the package likely won't give them a star player that they're hoping for." Notes that Kevin Love's value is extremely down and Brooklyn's first round pick is not as good as Cleveland had expected. Once again, going right back to what we were talking about with the Toronto Raptors, when they said that everyone is on the table and they're looking for a top 10 pick in the NBA draft. Of course, Cleveland has that number 8 pick, and they're out here looking for veteran players, preferably a star, which would mean DeMar DeRozan, or maybe Kyle Lowry, who knows. But like I said, things are getting extremely interesting in the NBA world right now. I don't know what's gonna happen. No one knows what's gonna happen, but all I know is it sounds like something big is about to happen. There will be at least one blockbuster trade made on Thursday. For our next bit of news, Luka Doncic just sent out a warning to any teams who are even thinking of passing on him in the NBA draft, as he said this yesterday: "Pick 1 to 5. It will be amazing to be selected there, especially for a European guy. I need to show it on the court because I need to prove it. I can see who made a mistake of not drafting me. After my rookie season, I will see who made a mistake. I'm motivated to enter the draft. I'm excited to play in the NBA against these stars." Well, from the sound of things, it seems like Luka Doncic could be talking about the Sacramento Kings here, saying that you better not pass on me because that will be a huge mistake, since we are also getting reports saying that Marvin Bagley is essentially a lock to be selected number 2 by the Sacramento Kings instead of Luka Doncic. And for our final story of the day, it appears that there is another player on the Indiana Pacers looking to become the next Victor Oladipo, looking to replicate the success that Victor Oladipo had this season with the Indiana Pacers, and that player is Myles Turner, as we got photos of him yesterday looking completely different than he did just a few weeks ago. Myles Turner tweeted out this yesterday, saying that this has been his 5-week transformation so far. Like I said, the dude looks completely different after just 5 weeks. There's still a lot of summer left to go, so just imagine what's going to be like when the season is ready to tip off. Anyways, after doing a little more digging, I did find out that this transformation is because of Victor Oladipo, as the GM of the Indiana Pacers was quoted saying a couple of things. The day after Indiana's Game 7 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he arrived early at the team's practice facility at around 7:30 a.m. to get a workout in, and while he was riding one of the stationary bikes, he noticed that he wasn't alone. Victor Oladipo was there too, getting up around 200 shots, lifting weights, and making good on his public refusal to take time off. Also saying, that's great for him, and we know that's great for Victor, but let me ask you this: what does this do for every other player on our team? If every player on our team knows that we have a great human being who is our greatest worker but also our greatest player, you better fall in line or you don't look right. If the best player on your team is refusing to stop working, is always always trying to get better, that will for sure motivate some other players to try and elevate their games too, and that seems like what's going on with Myles Turner right now. And if both he and Victor are looking to make huge transformations from last season to the upcoming season, then it could be a pretty exciting time to be an Indiana Pacers fan. That duo could do some damage in the East next season. Anyways, now it's time for the question of the day. Do you guys think that DeMar DeRozan is about to be traded? And if so, do you think he's going to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Philadelphia 76ers or some other team? Let me know down in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow. But until then, keep getting the Bucks team as you see, and I am out of here. Peace!